Gen X is heading toward the biggest retirement shortfall of any generation in modern history. And the reason is not what most people think. The system needed you to believe you were handling it, right up until the moment you couldn't recover. That wasn't an accident. That was the design. Today, I'm going to show you the exact mechanism, the real numbers, and the one thing your employer is already paying for that most people never use. If you're Gen X, stay with me. This is the video I wish existed 10 years ago. It's a Tuesday night. You just got off the phone with your mom's doctor. Her medication changed again. She can't drive herself to the follow-up. You'll figure it out. You always do. Before you even put the phone down, your adult son texts. Between jobs. Needs help with rent. Just this month. You say yes. Because what else would you say? Then you sit down, open your banking app, look at your retirement account, the one you haven't added to in almost 2 years, and you close it without doing anything. You don't call a friend. You don't tell your boss you're running on empty. You just handle it. Because that's what you do. And that moment, closing the app, saying nothing. That isn't strength. That's the design working exactly as intended. And it didn't start on Tuesday night. It started decades earlier, built around a belief you never chose, but have been paying for ever since. If you were born between 1965 and 1980, you came home to an empty house. Your parents worked. You made your own snacks. You figured things out alone. Nobody checked in. Nobody asked how your day went. And you were completely fine. They even had a name for it. Latchkey kids. And the way adults said it, it almost sounded like a compliment. Like you were tougher, more capable, more independent. So before you were old enough to question it, you learned the rule. Needing people is a burden. Asking is weakness. You handle it yourself, or not at all. Then, every economic crisis that followed drove that lesson deeper. The 1987 crash, the early 90s recession, the dot-com collapse 2008, more economic shocks before retirement age than any other generation in modern history. And each time you came out the other side quieter about your problems and better at solving them alone. That became your identity. Your foundation, and here's the thing about a foundation. You don't question it. You just keep building on top of it. The more capable you became, the easier you were to take from, and the harder it became to see it happening. According to a 2025 AARP report, the average Gen X adult spent about $10,000 last year supporting an aging parent. Not a nursing home, not long-term care, just everyday costs. Transportation, medications, household help, $10,000 out of pocket. Every year. Sit with that for a moment. Now add this. At the same time, 52% of adults between 18 and 25 are either living with or receiving regular financial support from their parents. So you're spending upward toward your parents and downward toward your kids. At the same time, and you haven't told a single person how much it's actually taking. Researchers call it the sandwich generation. Squeezed from both sides. But the money is only part of it. You turn down the promotion because the schedule doesn't work around your mom's appointments. You stop contributing to retirement because there's always something more urgent this month. You keep saying yes to everyone else until there's nothing left to build with. And here's what turns a hard season into something that follows you. Your employer has caregiver support programs sitting in an HR portal you've never opened. The government offers caregiver tax credits you've never claimed. Your siblings know the situation. But you're the one carrying it. That support exists. It's been there the whole time. But reaching for it means admitting to another person that you can't do this alone. And that's the admission you were never going to make. What that silence has cost your retirement is something most people in your life will never say out loud. But you need to hear it. Think about the last time someone who knew your full financial picture sat down with you and told you the truth. For most people, that has never happened. So here it is. Depending on the report, the median Gen X household has somewhere between $90,000 and $150,000 saved for retirement. Most estimates say you need over $1 million to retire comfortably. That's not a gap you close by cutting a streaming service or skipping a vacation. That's years of compounding that never happened. And when you trace how it got there, it's always the same story. Gen X entered the workforce during wage stagnation, bought homes right before two of the worst housing crashes in modern history. And just when peak earning years finally arrived, everything hit at once. Aging parents, adult kids' emergencies that quietly became permanent. CNBC didn't call this a setback. They called it a crisis. The generation that never asked for anything is the one that's going to need the most help and is the least prepared to ask for it. That's not random. That's a pattern, a decades-long pattern built around the kind of person who would never ask for relief. And inside that pattern, right now, there is money with your name on it that has never been claimed. Here's exactly what it amounts to, and why it matters more than the number itself. The average Gen X household leaves between $4,000 and $8,000 on the table every single year. Not because they don't qualify, because they never apply. Caregiver tax credits, available unclaimed. Dependent care accounts, available untouched. Medicare care management services, available but rarely used. And then there's this. 1. Employee assistance programs, EAP, covering financial counseling and caregiver coordination at no cost. Available through most mid to large employers. Used by almost nobody. All of it is real. All of it is funded. But accessing it requires doing something Gen X was never taught to do. Pick up the phone and ask for help. That's the only thing standing between you and what I'm about to show you. $6,000 a year in unclaimed benefits. Invested at a conservative 7% return. Over 10 years, that becomes $83,000. That's the help aversion tax. What staying quiet actually costs. Building in the background while you're holding everything together. The longer you carry it, the more it takes. Right now, Gen X is the most stressed generation in the workforce, and the quietest about it. You're also the least likely to use the mental health and caregiver benefits already included in your compensation. The people carrying them most are the ones least likely to put any of it down. When you see those two things together, you're seeing the design land exactly where it was aimed. It only needed one thing for you to believe asking was beneath you. And while you were busy proving you were fine, it took everything you should have kept. Your self-reliance got you through some of the hardest moments of your life. But that same quality made you easy to overlook. Not all at once, just quietly as the weight grew, and you kept telling yourself you could handle more. You weren't failing. You were doing exactly what you were taught, made you strong. Someone should have told you a long time ago what it was costing you. This is me telling you. Take that in, because the next 60 seconds might be the most useful thing you do today. One move, not a list, not a 5-step plan. One thing. Before you close this video, go to your employer's HR portal and search 2 letters, EAP Employee Assistance Program. Almost nobody uses it. It covers financial counseling, caregiver coordination, and support for aging parents, and it's already part of your compensation. You won't pay $1 for it. That's where you start. Because the moment you raise your hand, something changes. You stop carrying it alone. The system spent decades profiting from the fact that you wouldn't ask for help. The moment you do, the trap stops working. That ends today. If this hit close to home, send it to someone who needs to hear it.